Good afternoon. My name is Akec Khoc, the Ambassador of the Republic of South Sudan to the United States of America, the first Ambassador of the Republic of South Sudan to the United States of America to start on enhancing bilateral relations between the US and South Sudan. It is not always very easy to start anything. And so it is not going to be easy also to start building a new nation and sustaining it. But I want to say we have managed to create the Republic of South Sudan, not only with our own effort, but also with the help and assistance of regional and international bodies. So thank you so much for helping us create that. In the world, continents have boundaries that do not change, but countries at times have boundaries that change. We have seen that in the ex-Soviet Union, which has now so many countries, and the boundaries have been changing. We have seen that in the ex-Yugoslavia. We have seen that in Ethiopia, in Africa, and also in Germany. So South Sudan is a country that has come out of the division between Sudan and itself. What was the need for a division between Sudan and South Sudan? Well, I'll take you back a little while to the time when the British colonized Sudan. There were so many good things that were done, but there were also some difficulties, which is what eventually led to the departure of the British from Sudan. But when they left, they handed over power, political and economic power, to the Sudanese. And in the eyes of people of South Sudan, we saw what we assumed, what we believed was new colonialism, because South Sudanese did not figure so well in the political leadership of the country. The new leaders of Sudan felt that as one country, we had one identity, one religion, just for their own political ends. And that identity precluded others from leadership. Economic power was concentrated in the hands of very few people. Services as well were generated and geared towards particular regions, whereas others were marginalized or discriminated against. Our cultural identity was geared towards one ethnic, one group. So this was resented very much by the people of South Sudan. And I would say one of our leaders, the late John Garang, said Sudan was too deformed to be reformed. So we could not expect to reform it. So we thought it was better for us to weigh a struggle to get our independence and be free. It was not so easy. It was not so easy to weigh a revolution, getting people around it, and maintaining them. There was need absolutely to motivate them to continue the struggle. South Sudan being a swampy area, with a lot of bushes where mosquitoes and animals and all kinds of reptiles crisscross roads with the people. So you will not be comfortable being under such circumstances. But anyway, with the determination of the late chairman, Dr. John Garang, and his ability to motivate through the creation of a vision of a new Sudan where we will be equal, regardless of our race, regardless of our religion, of our color, of so many things. So this kept us going. By January 2005, we were all tired of fighting. There must be an end to anything in order to start to do something else. So we agreed with the support of our friends from the region and the international community, the United Nations, the churches, individuals like yourselves, to stop the war by agreeing to work together during an interim period of 6 years. And after that, the people of South Sudan would have the right to vote in a referendum to determine whether they would want to continue in unity with Sudan or they would want to opt out of it. Other provisions included sharing power between the North and the South. And through the sharing of that power, I had the opportunity to be appointed as an ambassador of the Republic of Sudan to the United States of America for a brief period before the referendum. We had also provision to share wealth. South Sudan is very rich in oil, but it is landlocked. So we had to use the pipeline to take whatever was the production, oil production of South Sudan to the seaport. And the resource would be shared 50-50. That worked. It is creating some problems now. So during those 6 years, there was a provision for the North to make unity attractive to the people of South Sudan. And for the people of South Sudan to evaluate whether unity has been made sufficiently attractive. Well, when the referendum came in January 2011, the people of South Sudan massively voted in favor of separation. To them, unity had not been made sufficiently attractive. There were no roads to link not only South Sudan and North Sudan, to encourage trade between the two regions, although many people in South Sudan preferred goods from the North for having been part of the North for a very long time, yet this was not seen to be done. Security across the borders was also an issue. So the people of South Sudan felt that they have been cheated and they needed to start a new nation where they would find themselves not as second, third class, fifth class citizens, but where they would find themselves first class citizens. And they voted 98.3% in favor of separation. Although external and internal factors were united for us to struggle, and now in 2011 we were able to create this nation, not on our own, but with the help of the international community. But nation building and sustaining that nation is a big issue. And it became a great challenge. There were challenges that we faced before the independence, one of the challenges was that the African Union had decided to maintain all the colonial boundaries and was not willing to accept the creation of new nations within Africa. Fortunately, we were lucky. We became a second. We're not starting. Eritrea broke away from Ethiopia. So we followed the footsteps, and while I was here representing the Sudan and listening to the arguments of Sudan that the African Union does not allow, we used that as one of the arguments against the obstruction of the creation of South Sudan, because the other alternative would be a continued conflict and war, which nobody wants. The challenges that emerge, they start with so many things. Making a constitution, how do we govern ourselves? We are for democracy, but without rules, you cannot govern yourself. So we drafted a constitution, enacted it, and we are in the process of reviewing it now. We have our identity, a flag of South Sudan, currencies, so many things. But we have some difficulties in governance because we are divided. We have so many political currents within the establishment. And so we have difficulties from time to time. But we think that we are a gifted country. South Sudan is very rich in minerals. We have talked of the oil, but we have other minerals that are still underlying. Our technology is still as young as our country, and so we cannot exploit it, but we want your help to come and exploit with us these resources, including, but not limited to uranium. So we have so much to offer. If you have been to East Africa, you have been to the Serengeti and the Masai Mara, that is very little compared to the wildlife that is available in South Sudan. The World Wildlife Conservation Society has indicated that maybe if you add another third important area, then you will come to what you can see in South Sudan. So I want to encourage you to visit South Sudan and enjoy the wildlife, the birds, the ecosystems that are available. But as we have seen countries come out of conflict in other parts of the world, in Africa in particular, we have benefited from the case of Timor-Leste, East Timor, which was the last before we came in. And they are coming out of a number of challenges. They have met them, and we have learned from them. In Africa as well, we have seen the case of Rwanda, where after conflict, they have come out. Please join us in rebuilding, in reconstructing South Sudan. We need your investment, and you are welcome to come and see for yourself. Thank you so much for your time.